Want to get creeped out? Welcome to Just a Little Stitious,
where things go bump in the night and sometimes it's just your fridge. Or it's us tripping over the furniture.
or it's something terrifying lurking in the dark. Hi.
Hey.
It's us, Just a Little Stitious. I'm Megan,
I'm Jess.
and we're sisters, and we're going to tell you about stuff that's creepy.
And if you have something creepy to tell us, email us at justalittlestitiouspod@gmail.com, where I and Megan, we together monitor the emails and respond.
Yeah, do that. Jess, do you want to tell us about anything that's been going on lately?
Yeah. So 2 nights ago, so it was the 24th, I woke up at like 2 a.m. as I do sometimes. I had to go pee. So I'm like laying in my bed and I'm debating whether or not I want to go pee or if I just want to stay in bed and try and ignore it and fall back asleep. And I just got the feeling that I was being watched and I could not shake the feeling. Like that happens to me a lot. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm paranoid. I feel like I'm being watched. But then I remember it's just in my head and it goes away. This time in particular, it didn't go away. I got up and I went pee, came out to the kitchen. I got some water and my dog was laying in his usual spot on the couch where normally if I get up to get water, he doesn't move. Like he doesn't even open his eyes. He's not fazed.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. But he was alert. His eyes were open. He wasn't really looking at me. He was just looking like everywhere, just looking around. And he was not sleeping, which was weird. But I went back to bed and I'm laying down and I'm like, no, this is a weird feeling. And I heard taps on, it sounded like the wall across from my bedroom. And it was like it was like 4 taps. It was like 2 and then a space and then 2, but they weren't close together. Like it was just weird. It's not my furnace. It's nothing. So after the taps, I hear the dog. I hear him get off the couch and he walks over to my door where it's left open, like maybe this much. I leave it open that much in case I hear my kids. He always sleeps on the couch. Like he never gets off the couch at night, but he goes in front of my door and he lays down. He lays there for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. I just can't shake this feeling like something is watching me. And then my dog gets up. I don't hear the taps anymore. He leaves and I don't feel like I'm being watched anymore. It was the weirdest thing. I texted Megan. I was like telling her what was going on. I was so freaked out. I woke up my husband and I was like, you know that feeling like when you just feel like you're being watched? And he was like, no. I'm like, well, that's what's happening right now. And there's taps. Like the dog is in front of the door. Like I was terrified. I was really scared.
2 things. First of all, it was like what, like 3 in the morning or 3:30?
I think when I texted you, it was around like 2:45 or so.
Okay.
I had already been up at this point dealing with it for like 45 minutes.
Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I actually personally like the feeling of being watched. Very rarely do I feel that. So I don't know. I take that feeling seriously.
I feel it, especially since I've lived here. I feel it a lot, but I can always convince myself that it's nothing.
Right.
But I just couldn't that time.
Jess texted me, and for some reason, when I was reading her text, I just got this pit in my stomach, which is really unusual because normally when she's texting me that she's scared of something, I'm like, well, that's just Jess. That's her natural state.
I'm always scared, yeah.
Is being scared. But yeah, I just got this pit in my stomach. So I literally got out of bed at 3 in the morning and made this protection jar for her to have in her house. It has a little note in it and it has like some sage and lavender and mugwort and St. John's wort. And it's got some gemstones like labradorite and amethyst and some other ones that I can't think of the name of right now. And then it also has this monarch butterfly that I found when I was on my honeymoon.
Oh, that's the one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, because I think of this as like our grandma Smith. So I, asked for her protection and put that in there for you, which is so nice of me.
That is very nice of you.
Yeah, that's how much I fucking love your family.
Yeah.
And your children and you.
That's pretty intense.
That's a lot of love because this butterfly was important to me.
That's grandma.
Yeah. And then I also put a dog tooth in it and then some other teeth that I had with some bones. I didn't put the bones in it. I just put teeth. And then black candle wax so that negative energy will attract to inside the bottle and that'll get stuck inside. And then the teeth will scratch it and nod away. Only negative though. Anything positive is fine to stay. Anything that has positive intentions for Jessica and her children and her husband can stay. And anything that has negative intentions can go in this bottle.
Yeah.
And get scratched and nod. So yeah, anyway.
It was very, very scary.
Yeah. I don't know why it like hit me so hard. Like I was having a good night and I was just chilling.
Yeah.
And you sent that text and I just happened to read it. I don't know. Anyways, so this is part 2 of Cursed and Haunted Objects. There's some pretty creepy ones in here. I don't know how much we're going to have time for, so we're going to get right into it. I am going to be showing pictures of cursed and haunted objects in this episode, okay? If you don't want to look at the picture, I will say I'm going to show the picture, and then once you hear the little click, you'll know the picture's up. You can close your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you can open them and the picture will be gone.
What if I don't want to see the pictures?
Then you can quit the podcast. And I'll do this by myself.
Wow. Nice.
The first one I'm actually going to talk about is the Hope Diamond. Okay, so that's the Hope Diamond.
Ooh.
Gorgeous, hey?
Yeah. How much is that worth?
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Nice.
Yeah. The Hope Diamond is a 45.5 carat blue diamond worth hundreds of millions of dollars today.
Nice.
Here it is. Close your eyes if you want to. Legend says it was stolen from the eye of a Hindu idol in India in the 1600s.
Bad karma.
Yes, that is. I think the person stole it from a freaking sacred idol and then it became cursed because it was like, fuck you.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
The man who stole it was torn apart by wild dogs.
Nice.
Like that is
Punishment fits the crime.
Karma on a platter.
Punishment fits the crime. I like that one.
Yeah.
He deserved that, dick.
So the diamond made its way to France and was worn by King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette.
Ooh, fancy.
Shortly after the French Revolution started, both King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were executed by a guillotine.
Yikes.
Their court jeweler who handled the diamond was also tortured and killed. The diamond then made its way in the 1800s to a man named Wilhelm Falls. He recut the gem. His son murdered him and then took his own life.
Wow.
Another owner was Prince Ivan Katanovsky. He gave the diamond to his mistress. So
yeah, she gone.
She was shot and killed.
Yeah.
And he was stabbed to death shortly after.
Punishment fits the crime.
Well, the crime there was, I guess, adultery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because they didn't steal the diamond, I don't think.
But
Yeah.
he's adultering
Yeah.
and giving a gift worth hundreds of millions to a mistress.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodbye.
Totally.
Fuck off.
As you can see, there's a lot of people who died from this diamond.
Yeah.
So then the diamond went to a man named Simon Frankel. He was a New York jeweler who went bankrupt after buying it. Then a man named Jacques Collot, who went insane, who took his own life. Then it went to a woman named Evelyn Walsh McLean. She was a wealthy American socialite and she wore it often. She even put it on her dog. The dog lived.
Wow. Nice.
So the diamond doesn't curse dogs, which makes sense. It's just going to blame humanity. It's not going to blame...
It's not the dog's fault.
No.
It's people.
Exactly. But shortly after she, was gallivanting around with her diamond, her daughter died of an overdose. Her husband left her for another woman, and then he died in an asylum. The diamond then actually went to Harry Winston. He acquired the diamond, and he did not believe in the curse, but he was skeptical enough to donate it to the Smithsonian in 1958. One might say that he wasn't superstitious. He was just a little stitious. He mailed it in a plain brown box. The person who delivered it was a man named James Todd. Shortly after, James Todd suffered a car crash, a head injury, and lost his leg in another accident.
Jesus Christ.
Currently, the Hope Diamond is on display at the Smithsonian Museum.
Wow.
You could go see it. Modern owners avoid touching it directly. It's clean and handled with extreme care, not just for value, but out of superstition. This is really interesting. Some theorize the curse was made up by newspapers to help boost diamond sales in the early 1900s, but the deaths linked to the diamond are real. But what kind of marketing is that?
Well, I was just thinking, if I'm thinking a diamond is cursed, I'm not going to buy another diamond.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, no,
this diamond is killing plenty of people.
buy this one.
You should buy a diamond. They're great.
Yeah, right.
That's weird.
No, that's crazy.
So I don't really know if that would have been made up.
It's terrible marketing.
Another one I wanted to talk about, which is pretty creepy, the Hands Resist Him painting. Okay, so I'm going to show you that photo.
That's hands in the mirror.
Yes,
the window.
in the window.
Creepy.
So
that's a painting?
yes.
Why would you paint that?
So
That's not even art. I shouldn't be insulting it. Oh my God.
Yeah. You are like the poster child of getting cursed by cursed objects.
Son of a bitch. I can't take it. I can't believe I did that again.
So this one was painted in 1972 in just a few days by an artist named Bill Stoneham. People who looked at the painting on the eBay listing reported computer crashes, nausea and anxiety, sudden illnesses. Some even claimed they passed out and felt cursed. One person claimed they felt like they were being pulled into the painting. You know what? You felt nothing except for insults, so you're fine.
Jerk.
Okay, here's the picture, and for anyone who's not looking at it, it's a young boy standing beside a doll in front of a glass door. Hands can be seen behind the glass door. The room behind the door looks dark. It looks like there might be a moon reflected in the glass as well. The doll is holding, guess what it is before you hear me say it? A dry cell battery. But it kind of looks like a gun or a bomb. Bill Stoneham said the painting of the boy was based on a photo of him as a child.
Oh my God.
And the title of the painting came from a poem that his wife wrote.
Lovely.
He says the hands behind the glass represent other lives or opportunities pressing in from another dimension. The painting debuted in an LA gallery, and the art critic who reviewed it and the art gallery owner died within a year of viewing it. This cannot be confirmed, though. This is kind of hearsay. What?
I just looked at the picture.
Not in real life. You looked at a picture of the picture. Here's where things get weird. The painting was then purchased by actor John Marley and eventually disappeared from the public eye, but it resurfaced in 2000 when it was listed on eBay with a terrifying description.
Oh.
The seller claimed that they found it in an abandoned brewery, which is super random.
That is very random.
I wonder if there was leftover booze.
I would have taken that instead.
No doubt. They said the painting was cursed. They said the figures in the painting would move in the canvas, fight.
Oh, like the hands.
They don't exactly
That would be
specify
creepy.
that. They say they would fight in the canvas, and then they would also leave the canvas and walk around the room.
Goodbye.
Their 4-year-old daughter was terrified and said the boy threatened her. She was so persistent and scared that the parents set up a motion sensor camera. The motion sensor cameras caught the doll holding a gun pointed at the boy and the boy trying to leave the painting.
What the?
But I've never seen this video. The eBay listing warned not to bid on the painting if you are faint of heart or fear the spirit world.
Well, okay. Why would you sell it? Destroy it. You know it's bad.
The internet started calling it the killing painting, which is kind of dark. The painting was purchased by Kim Smith, a gallery owner in Michigan, and she keeps it hung and secure in a private and safe location. The painter, Bill Stoneham, is shocked the painting has been dubbed as being haunted, but admits it's strange how many have similar feelings surrounding it, like disturbance, sadness, dread.
Mm-hmm.
He also painted sequel paintings of the boy getting older and the doll decaying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're really cool. Would you hang this painting in your house? I would.
I would not. And I would not come to your house.
I did feel something when I looked at the painting. I did feel uncomfy. I didn't feel the same way as I did as the Anguished Man painting.
Yeah, that one.
That one's really creepy.
That one's creepy, but I was like...
That one's terrifying.
Egg mouth. It was an egg mouth.
So for this one, I want to talk about a really famous cursed object. Some people might know about it, but they might not know everything that I know. So I want to talk about the Dybbuk Box. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. This one includes Post Malone.
I love him.
So in 2003, a really weird eBay listing popped up.
Okay.
The seller was a man named Kevin Mannis, and he was selling an old antique wine cabinet. Here it is. Close your eyes if you want to. He claimed that he purchased the antique wine cabinet from an estate sale in Portland, and that it had previously belonged to a woman who had passed away at the age of 103. Her name was Havila. She had actually escaped a Nazi concentration camp during World War II. Her escape led her to Spain, which is where she purchased the cabinet, and then she eventually wound up moving to the US.
That's like an interesting thing to, like, did she just like escape and then I wonder how much time between... No, like I'm not making a joke.
I know. I'm waiting for the question. What is it?
I'm wondering how much time between the escape to like the purchase of this wine cabinet.
Right. We don't know
Wonder.
that.
I wonder what happened there. I'm just curious.
Just you wait.
It's not a joke. I'm not being funny.
No,
It's
but
not funny.
you're just you wait is what I'll say to that.
More information coming my way.
So at the estate sale, Kevin met the granddaughter of Havilah. She was there helping sell things. And she told him that her grandmother had been very strict about the wine cabinet and said it should never be opened. She claimed that inside the box was what's called a Dybbuk. So a Dybbuk is an entity from Jewish folklore.
Is that they have a movie?
They have a movie? Yeah, they have a movie.
Babadook?
No.
That's a different thing?
Yeah. This entity is believed to be capable of possessing the living.
Oh.
So very creepy.
Sorry, like she believes that there's like an actual physical something or the entity of...
Like the entity is trapped inside the box.
So like essentially the box is the protection jar.
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
exactly.
Visual representation. I
Exactly.
need
Despite the fact that the granddaughter had told Kevin this, he, was like, whatever. And he bought it. He wanted to give it to his mother for her upcoming birthday. So he bought it. And he was also going to restore it because it was really old. He had an old furniture shop, so he brought it there to restore it. And there were some really strange things inside the cabinet and about the cabinet.
Okay.
The cabinet had an engraving on the back, and it also had inside locks of human hair, a small stone statue engraved with Hebrew letters, a dried rosebud, a golden wine cup, several Lincoln wheat pennies from the 1920s, and a black cast iron candlestick with 4 curved tentacle legs.
Checks out.
It's weird stuff in there.
It is, but like it would make sense.
You think?
I think so, yeah.
Why?
Because, I mean, look at all the weird stuff we put in things to
protection.
Exactly, for protection. I think that everything in there it's weird, but it's all intentional.
Exactly. It's all intentional.
Yeah.
Nail on the head. It's all intentional. Further research showed that the carving on the back of the cabinet was the Shema, which is a prayer in Judaism. And the word on the stone inside the box was the word shalom, written in Hebrew. Kevin goes into particular detail as to what havoc this antique wine cabinet has unleashed on his life. The first incident that happened was he had brought it to his furniture store. He had to go out to run some errands, and his cashier was working at the store. She called him. She was crying. She said, someone broke into the store. They've been yelling. I haven't seen them, but they've been yelling. They've been smashing things, and they locked me in.
Oh.
He hurries back to the furniture shop and goes inside. There's no one there that he can find, but he finds light bulbs shattered in the basement, and it also smells strongly of cat piss.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the worst smell.
Cat pee. Yeah.
Ugh, that's terrible. That sucks.
The cashier wound up quitting, and she never wanted to talk about what happened again.
Fair.
So he restores the wine cabinet. He winds up giving it to his mother late, and winds up actually giving it to her on Halloween. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Within 5 minutes of her receiving the wine cabinet, she has a stroke.
I mean,
but he's not chalking this up to anything paranormal.
He was told when he bought it never to open it. And he's like, I'm just going to restore it. To my mom.
Yeah, exactly.
On Halloween, too.
On Halloween, when the veil is the thinnest. During her recovery, she was able to communicate with hospital staff and family by pointing to letters on the alphabet because she couldn't speak at the time.
Okay.
So she used this to tell Kevin a message. And she spelled out the words, hate, gift. He thought this was funny. He was like, it's okay, Mom, I'll get you something else. Like, he wasn't being like, oh, she hates it because it's cursed. He was like, it's okay. No worries. I'll get you something else. In the weeks that followed, Kevin winds up giving it to different people in his family. The first person is to his sister, and she gives it back to him within a week. She says the doors on the cabinet won't stay shut. Then it goes to his brother and sister-in-law, who returns it within a few days. His brother says it smells like jasmine flowers, and his wife says it smells like cat pee.
So I guess when he was restoring it, he took everything out of the cabinet.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Entities coming out.
The last person he gave it to was his girlfriend. She told him after 2 days that he should sell it. She didn't really say more than that. Kevin brought the box back to his furniture shop. It was purchased the next day. The next morning, he goes to open up the shop. The cabinet is on the front steps with a note attached that says, "This has a bad darkness." So he goes home with the cabinet, and this is when paranormal stuff starts to happen for him. He starts to experience a nightmare that he has all the time.
Okay.
Which is he is walking with a friend or a family member or someone that he trusts, and he's looking them in the eyes, and suddenly he realizes it's not the person he thinks he's with, which is so creepy.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. The person then transforms into what he describes as a demonic-looking hag that starts to viciously attack him. He starts waking up with bruises on his body, but still he's not associating this with the box.
Oh, God.
One night, Kevin has his sister, his brother, and his sister-in-law over, and they wind up spending the night. The next morning, they're having breakfast. His sister starts saying she had a weird nightmare. She explains the same nightmare that Kevin had. She says she's had this dream, this nightmare, multiple times before. All four of them are looking at each other like, what the fuck? Because they've all had the nightmare. So they start talking about it and come to realize that the only time that they've had the nightmare is when they've been sleeping in the same location as the box. Kevin ends up calling his girlfriend. He's like, "Hey, have you had any weird dreams lately?" And she's like, "Yeah, actually." She explains the same nightmare. They're all having it. And she had it when she had the box in her house.
I have chills.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's a creepy one.
It just got me.
Over the next few weeks, Kevin has people over. They're telling him that they're like seeing shadow figures in his house.
Jesus Christ.
He's starting to see that too. He starts to think that, okay, maybe this has something to do with the box.
It's about time.
Obviously. So he decides to put it outside in a storage shed. That night, he wakes up to his smoke alarm going off. There's no smoke. He is also smelling, guess.
Cat piss.
Yep.
Nice.
He decides to bring the box back into his home because he's like, obviously, I pissed something off by putting it out in the shed. He brings it back into his house and he starts researching Dybbuk and Jewish folklore on his computer. He winds up passing out while he's doing this. That night again, he dreams of the demonic-looking old hag that viciously attacks him. Then he woke up with the sensation that someone's breath was on his neck.
Oh, fuck.
He could smell jasmine flowers, and he saw a huge shadow lurking in his hallway. This is when Kevin decided enough was enough and listed the wine cabinet on eBay. Also, though, on Friday, June 13th, before he was able to find a buyer, he returned home and all of the fish in his aquarium were dead. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just kind of rude.
The cabinet wound up being purchased by a man named Joseph Nietsky. He shortly sold it after to a man named Jason Haxton. In 2011, Jason published a book talking about the terrifying experiences that he had with the Dybbuk box.
Oh, wow.
This included things like bleeding from his eyes, which is very extreme.
That is crazy.
Being choked by an invisible force.
Okay.
And having the same nightmare about the demonic
So
old
everybody's
woman.
having that. Everybody is having.
Yes.
Okay.
There was a TV show called Paranormal Witness, and Kevin's mother went on it in 2012 and spoke about the Dybbuk box. She said that when Kevin gave it to her, she felt this extreme freezing temperature, and she could sense an evil presence right before she had her stroke.
Ugh.
Jump forward to 2016. Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures purchases the Dybbuk box from Jason Haxton. He has it in display at his haunted museum in Las Vegas. In 2018, Post Malone is a guest on his show.
Okay.
Zach winds up touching the Dybbuk box, like physically touching it.
Yeah.
And when he touches the Dybbuk box, Post Malone touches his shoulder. Okay.
Okay.
In the days after that, Post Malone had some strange things happen to him.
Okay.
He had a private plane that had to make an emergency landing.
Okay.
How nice it must be. His home was broken into.
Wow.
And he got into a car accident.
Oh, wow.
People were quickly speculating that all of this happened to Post Malone. At first they were saying because he touched the box.
Right.
Then they were like, oh, he didn't really touch the box. So they were saying that Zach Baggins acted like a conduit for the curse to go from the box to Post Malone. This story gets so crazy. Crazy.
Okay. All
yes.
right.
So in 2020, Ghost Adventures has another episode about the Dybbuk Box.
Okay.
Zach Bagans talks to Kevin Mannis, and he reveals in the episode that Kevin actually gave him a second box. So there's 2 Dybbuk boxes.
Oh.
And that there were 10 boxes in total.
What?
So Kevin is saying that now Zach Bagans has 2 of the boxes. Kevin has 6 of the boxes. And 2 of the other boxes are missing. No one knows where they are. They could be hidden anywhere in the world, and that they were hidden by Havilah.
Wow.
What's your reaction right now to all of this? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm so confused.
Tell me.
So all these 10 boxes are equally evil. And they're just like,
okay.
How did he end up with 10 boxes?
So he didn't end up with 10. He has 6 and Zach Bagans has 2.
How did he end up with 6?
He doesn't really go into detail on that. But what he does say is that Havilah had actually summoned an evil spirit with other women who were survivors during World War II, and that they summoned this evil spirit to try and help fight the Nazi regime.
Okay, well.
They couldn't control what they summoned.
Yeah.
And they believed that the entity or creature they summoned was responsible for some really crazy, bad global tragedies like the Korean War.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
They did this. What's up?
Look how bad my goosebumps are. My hairs are sticking up.
Oh, just you wait.
I'm like, when you started talking about it, I got like the goosebumps and I'm freezing now.
So because Havilah was like, we summoned this evil creature, she trapped the creature in 10 separate boxes and hid all of them, but kept 1. So I guess Kevin is saying that he found some of them, winds up giving 2 to Zach Bagans. He has 6 and they can't find the other 2.
How the fuck do you end up just finding?
Yeah. So he says that his biggest fear is that all 10 boxes will come together and someone will open them and that it will unleash something.
Oh, God, I hope I'm long gone when that happens.
What is your impression on this story?
I hate it. I really don't like this one. This one really gives me a bad, it's just a bad, this is not a fun time for me.
Okay.
I'm like not feeling good. What?
I'm going to drop a bomb.
Oh, God.
So in 2021, Kevin Mannis does an interview for a magazine.
Oh, no.
With a guy named Charles Moss. Why are you saying, oh, no?
Because did he do an interview and he mentioned how 2 boxes are missing and now they're all accounted for?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good.
He finally admits that he made up the whole story.
What?
Yeah. So Havilah never existed. He wrote the whole story himself and put the eBay listing up as a creative writing project.
What's this guy's name?
Kevin Mannis.
Fuck you, Kevin. That is so not cool.
He bought the cabinet at a yard sale, not an estate sale. It had belonged to an attorney, not a Holocaust survivor. And he himself had carved the Hebrew inscriptions, put everything inside the box.
Oh, what a shady fucker.
And he described it as he put all his like negative energy and misfortune into this writing and into this project. Charles Moss, the writer, he asks Kevin about his mom being on that show, Paranormal Witness.
Yeah.
Kevin calls it an outstanding bit of motherly support and an Oscar-winning performance.
Wow.
But here's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Kevin says not everything about the Dybbuk Box is made up.
Okay.
He did buy it for his mother and planned to give it to her for his birthday. When he gave it to her, she did have a stroke. That part is true.
Okay. Or so they say. They're both liars. We can't believe them.
An interesting part is because the box went to that Joseph guy and then it wound up going to Jason Haxton, who wrote a book, right? About all of the things that happened to him.
Right.
So what we know now is that when Joseph bought the box, the first purchaser, Kevin Mannis actually told him that it was made up. And Jason Haxton, we don't know if he knew or not, but at some point, Kevin Mannis said to Jason, I thought you knew that it was made up. So did Jason Haxton know this before he wrote his book or after, right? Did he experience all of these things? What's odd too is in his book, he accuses Kevin Mannis of making up the story.
Oh.
So it's like, did he know?
So what's the point of the book then?
Because his theory in the book, Jason Haxton,
That he like summoned
which is
something?
the second owner and the man who sold it to Zach Bagans, his theory is that Kevin cursed the antique by using Kabbalah, which is a form of Jewish mysticism. But to be very clear, cursing is not a part of Kabbalah at all in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So that's highly unlikely. And obviously, Kevin Mannis has now said that he just made it up.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he just cursed the box from being a freaking liar and just terrible karma.
So that is where things are interesting because the writer, Charles Moss, reaches out to Zach Bagans and says, listen, Zach.
Yeah, bad for you, dude. You got it rough.
Kevin Mannis has admitted he made this up. And Zach eventually responds and says, I don't know what he made up, but this box is cursed. He says people have had crazy reactions being in the same room as this box. People had been taken by paramedics because they were in the same room as it. He's like, this box is for sure cursed. Kevin calls Charles Moss, the writer, and he says, Zach Bagans isn't happy. But he also says, the curse is going crazy on me. And he says, in a single week, his car broke down, his girlfriend left him, his mother passed away, and 2 of his friends passed away.
Yikes.
So basically, he's like, yeah, I made the story up, but the box is cursed, is what Kevin Mannis is saying. And I really like this part, which, I mean, we'll get into this in a minute. But Charles Moss, the writer, asks Kevin Mannis why he did this, why he wanted to do this. And Kevin says, to become an interactive horror story. That right there is so fascinating because it did become an interactive horror story.
I do get it.
It always brings it back, and we spoke about this a couple episodes ago about belief and how belief can cause really strange things to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, there's a lot of morality to look at in this. The whole world believed, well, not the whole world. I'm sure there's a lot of skeptics who didn't. Many people believed Kevin Mannis, believed this story.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line?
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't like it. We can't trust any of these people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like if Kevin Mannis, he told the first buyer of the box
the truth.
Yeah. I mean, but he didn't tell, he didn't tell anyone else. It's just, oh, I thought you knew. Why would you think that he knew?
I think he said to him at some point, oh, I thought Joseph would have told you when you bought the box. Because, I mean, it's not like Kevin was staying in touch with Joseph after he bought the box.
I guess that is.
He buys the box. Eventually, he sells it to Jason Haxton.
Did Post Malone ever say anything about this story? Was he ever like...
I'm not sure if he ever said anything.
I'm curious.
It's interesting. It's also... Okay, question. Was there any point in the story where you're like... Because you are a believer, but you're also a skeptic. Was there a point in the story where you're like, this is too crazy?
No, not yet. No. Because, no, I feel like everything... Because, yeah, I am a skeptic, but...
You're also a pretty big
I've
believer,
also heard, and I've also heard things that are crazier. Like, I've heard things that are so crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, a box that is in a house and people are having the same nightmare, like, it's not that
right
crazy. Waking up with bruises.
What about the part where there's now 10 boxes? Like, was that too far for you, or you were still like, okay, like, I'm buying this?
I was confused.
Okay.
Like, I was very confused as to how that, like, how does one thing all of a sudden turn into 10? You have 10 boxes? Like, no, that was confusing to me.
Yeah.
He could have made that story a little more.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball on that one.
I think they wanted to bring the story further. They wanted it to keep going. And that's where they took it too far.
Oh, yeah. I think up until that point, if you would have just
left it there.
Yeah. That could have been much more believable.
For me, on one hand, I know why people would be upset about it not being true. But on the other hand, what a good story.
Yeah, it is good.
Like, up until I learned that he had made it up.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a freaky one.
Yeah, that is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's just a line that shouldn't be crossed. And I feel like when it comes to like the paranormal and just any evil entities, whether real or fake, and like I'm bad for it because I make fun of things by accident. It just like comes out of my mouth. But like, I just feel like making it up and like taking this fake
negative energy. Well, the negative energy wasn't fake, I don't think.
No, because but that's the thing, right? It's the power of belief.
Right.
I feel like there probably was something negative that he probably conjured up.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Without even realizing it.
Possibly.
I don't know. That's not right. That's not fucking cool, dude.
It's a creepy one. And then when you learn the twist, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So this was sent in from a girl named Kelsey. This is my story with pictures of living above an old crematorium. As a college kid at the time, I was looking for anywhere cheap to rent and found this listing that the funeral home owns and uses for viewings and parties still. But I found out my building was where the cremation took place long ago. As a person who's very sensitive to the paranormal, this worried me. But hey, it was cheap and remodeled. Pretty much from day one, I could hear walking from my closet next to my bed. Then it would go into the kitchen and disappear.
I know.
Eek.
I know.
This happened almost every night, and I chalked it up to a residual haunting. My friend lived downstairs, and I would have to walk down the stairs into a non-lit hallway where her door was. Extremely creepy. I've included a picture of an orb in the hallway in question. I was trying to send a snap message to my friend that I was outside her door when it rushed me. I felt a cold, chilling sensation. The hair on the back of my neck stood up and I felt eyes on me. I knocked frantically on my friend's door until she finally answered. I would have done the same thing, or I would have run back to my apartment.
Yeah.
Going back up to my apartment, I didn't get the same chilling sensation, but the eyes were always there. Fast forward a few months, I was sending Snapchats to my friend from my living room when I get a screenshot and a snap back from Cassie, followed immediately by a phone call. Kelsey, look at the snap I sent you. There's a face in the window. Mind you, I am on the second floor, so there's no way for someone to be up here. I immediately left the apartment feeling that this was the man that would walk by my bed at night.
Ugh.
And that he was not happy. It took me 3 days to go back, and I lived there for 2 years with varying levels of activity. I have attached the Snapchat she sent back to me and another orb I caught in my room. Orbs were very common in that place. Let me know if you want to hear about the childhood shadow man that would follow me states away to my dad's house. I don't talk about him because he comes back if I do, but I'm willing to tell the story if you're interested. We're interested. We don't want him to come back for you though, but like,
yeah,
if you want to tell us, we want to hear it.
Yeah, up to you.
For real. I want to look at these pictures. Oh, I mean, there's definitely something weird there. I'm going to turn the brightness up on your phone here.
Oh, yeah. I saw the nose. It looks like a nose.
That is weird. It looks, yeah, like it kind of looks like there's a mouth there.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's very creepy.
Huh.
Hard to like chalk that up as like dust.
I don't know.
Right?
Anyways, thank you for sharing that story, Kelsey. And like Jess said earlier in the episode, if any of you have any creepy stories or stories about hauntings, strange encounters, cryptids, you can send them to justalittlestitiouspod@gmail.com. If you like creepy stories and hearing about hauntings and cryptids and just crazy paranormal shit, like this video, subscribe, I don't know. Maybe hit the notification bell. You could like see when we post, and like
if you
could
really
hang out
want
with us.
to.
And if you're really into it, you could also check out our Patreon because we do really cool things. We're going to do lives every month where we investigate haunted dolls, investigate haunted places, horror movie nights, and there's a bunch of
stuff.
Perks that you get with it. So check that out.
Yeah.
And that's it for this one.
Goodbye.
Bye, you little fuckers. Love ya.
Whoa.
Thank you for listening to Just a Little Stitious. If you like stories like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And before you go to bed tonight, make sure to check under your bed, just in case that sound you heard wasn't the fridge.